Welcome to episode 6, of our Swords and Wizardry solo campaign. If you remember last time, Quesh held a funeral for his brother and ventured off into his own to find a way to get across the sea. He's not entirely sure how far it is, but he ended up finding himself in the mountains again, finding himself in the mountains that he was skirting, and he camped out in a cave, and we rolled on the fate chart or the scene chart, and there was a scene interrupt, and he decided instead of heading back down the mountain to where he knew it was clear, he was going to head into this cave that was in the mountain. It might pay off for him, it might not. We're going to find out. I'm Tristan, this is Heroes and Homebrew. Quesh is heading into the mountain. I think we are going to use these dungeon morphs, and they don't look like caves, but we're going to use them like caves. If I can remember what dungeon morph pack this is, I'll put them in the description so you guys, if you want to pick some up. They're pretty good. They print out 4 per page, and then you can just print them, cut them. I have a bunch more that I still haven't cut out, but for now I think this is going to be more than enough. So we're going to shuffle them up. Not that I know which order they're in anyway, but I think we're going to move some things to the side here. I'm going to move these sheets to the side. I'm not going to test the scene because we tested the scene, and that's what pushed them into the caves. Put them down like that, and now let's flip one at random. All right, so let's turn it like that. Okay, so he came in from here. Just wanted to make sense. And maybe it goes into the mountain a bit, comes to this area. Now, unlike the deck of many dungeons, there's nothing written on here, so we're going to kind of wing it. I'm going to, for areas, I'm going to roll a d6, and maybe roll for traps and stuff, and roll to see if there's treasure, and we're going to go like that. It's going to be a bit experimental. So he comes into this first room. We're going to roll a d6. On a 1, there will be something in there. 6, there's nothing in there. It's just a wide open cavern. Heads down and sees that the road splits in 2 ways. He kind of has an idea of the direction he needs to go in to get to the other side of the mountain. So he's going to go left. Get to this corner, let's roll a d6, see if there's anything, if he encounters anything. He does. Alright, so that's a 1 that I rolled. Let's decide. What does he encounter? I'm going to say, I don't think the mountains would be trapped so much. So I'm going to say on a 1 to 3, he encounters a creature. And on a 4 to 6, he encounters something else that's interesting, and we will find a random table or something that we can use for that. 1 to 3, it's a creature. So let's scroll down here. Alright, so we're going to call this dungeon level 1. We're going to roll a d10. I think we'll only be on level 1 because I don't think it's a multi-level cave system. It's probably twists and winds. Maybe it'll go to a level 2, but so that's a 2, 3d6 CLB creatures. So let's roll 3d6. Hopefully they're not going to be creatures that'll kill him. Worst case scenario, maybe he'll run out of the cave and go on his original path. 7, 11. Alright, so we need to go down to CLB creatures. Goblins. I don't even need to roll for the goblins because it's the only thing in CLB. So, goblins, let's go see how many goblin. Okay. So we already rolled the number appearing. There's 11 of them. They are 1 hit dice, 1d6 hit points. So we are going to say, okay, we're going to roll for surprise. Are the goblins surprised? Goblins are black. Quesh is white. Surprised on a 1 or a 2. Quesh is surprised. Maybe the goblins heard him coming. So Quesh stops, and the goblins see him. We're going to roll on the fate chart. Are the goblins going to be aggressive towards him? I'm going to say it's 50-50. Maybe they are uncertain. 53. No, they are not going to be aggressive towards him. Okay, so I think they kind of chitter themselves like, and you know what? I need to figure out if Quesh speaks Goblin. One of the things I didn't do was languages. According to the rules, Quesh speaks an additional 3 languages. Actually, I wrote down the additional languages on his character sheet, but I didn't pick the languages. So we're going to ask the fate chart if Quesh speaks Goblin, because maybe if you communicate with the goblins, maybe they know a way through the tunnels. Maybe you could trade something with them. So I'm going to say it's a 50-50 shot. It could be one of the languages that he learned in the monastery or in the temple. Chaos factor 7, yep. Okay, so Chaos factor 7. Does Quesh speak Goblin? 63. He needed a 75 or less, so he does speak Goblin. Okay, so Quesh is going to talk to him and say, I'm sorry for intruding. He's saying this in Goblin. I'm looking for a way through the mountains. I am in dire need of getting to the other side. I'm running low on food. Do you know of a way that would to guide me through the mountains? Maybe we could offer a trade of some sort. So, do the goblins know a way to the other side of the mountains through these caves? I'm going to say it's 50-50. So 75 or less on Chaos factor 7. 67. They do know a way. Well, that's wonderful. Would it be possible for you to guide me and take me there? How long will it take? So let's see. Will they? I think they probably will. I think maybe they're going to ask for something in return and say, "Do you have shiny? Give us shiny, we take you." So I think it's likely that they will take them 85 or less if for a trade of something shiny. That could be gold, that could be a gem, it could be anything. 59. Yes, they will take them for something shiny. Now Quesh has, where's his gold? Quesh has some gold. He can give them a couple pieces of gold. Money means nothing to him. The only reason he uses money is to pay for room and board when needed, and equipment when needed, and other living expenses, and the rest he gives away to the poor. So for him, giving them some of his gold means nothing. So he's going to give them. Let's roll a d10. See how many gold pieces he gives them. 6. He gives them 6 gold pieces. They are very happy about this because it's very shiny. They polish it on their whatever cloth they have for clothing and their armor. The chief says, "Come, we take you. It'll take one day max." And so they begin to lead him through the dungeon or through the caves. I want to see, do the goblins keep their word to him? Do they betray him? So I'm saying, do the goblins keep their word? I'm going to say this 50-50. Chaos factor 7 or less. So you needed a 75 on a 50-50. That's a 94. The goblins don't keep their word. So I think we're going to have to go to one of the charts on one of the tables in Mythic and find out what exactly the goblins do. I think they're going to lead them somewhere. Maybe lead them to a trap or lead them to something bigger that they're afraid of. But let's go check Mythic. All right, so let's roll on the action tables, and maybe we'll add some tables to it to get a better idea of how these goblins betray him. So we're going to say they continue down. $76. Relinquish. Maybe they surround him and try and get him to give something up. 50. Relinquish investment. So I think they realize that he's got more gold, and they think they want to they want to take it from him. Something shiny. They want all the gold he has. So I think, but maybe they don't realize that doesn't really care. I think they start going through this dungeon or this cave system. I keep calling it a dungeon. Going through this cave system, and eventually they begin to surround him. He's got a torch going, and eventually they surround him, and they all pull their swords. And I'm going to say, is he surprised? Is he surprised by this? I think it's probably likely, but he's not. He's not surprised with this. Maybe he's keeping himself aware of what's going on around. They pull their swords, and the chief says, "You give us all the shiny. You give us all the shiny. Now we kill you." And Quesh thinks to himself, "Well, okay, but let's see. Do they know about the gems? Because he has 1,000 gold pieces worth of gems on his person. Do they only realize that he's got the gold, or do they want the gems as well?" So I'm going to say it's 50-50 that they know. Chaos factor 7, so 75 or less. Yes, they know about the gems. 82. They do not know about the gems, so all he has to do is give him the gold that he has. That is easy enough for him. So he has 40. He gave them 3 gold pieces before. You're just going to give it all to him. He had 60 gold pieces that he'd taken from the body of Akel and the bandits. And I think that I have it in parentheses here because he has to take it to the town to get the XP for it. I think that maybe I'll change that. Maybe that won't be necessary. Maybe like just getting the gold will give him the XP, just simply because it's a character by themselves. Otherwise, it could take forever before he reaches the 2nd level. But that's neither here nor there. Puts his hands up and says, "All right, I'll give you all the shiny. I'll give it all to you." And he takes and he gives him the bag. Now, what are the chances? Where did Ukel's hit points? He's got 4 hit points. I think he's not going to risk it. It's no sense for him to attempt to fight these guys over some coin that he doesn't particularly care about. And he says, "There, I've given you all my gold. Just take me to the other side. You have everything you need from me. All you needed to do was ask for more. You did not need to do this." And the goblin was kind of shocked because he assumed that it would be a bigger fight, that there would be more struggle with this. And the goblin says, you give?" Kel says, "Yes, this gold means nothing to me. If it is shiny and is valuable to you, then you may have it. I have no use for it." And I think, let's see, is this going to win over the goblins? Are they going to be sort of on his side now? I'm going to say it's unlikely that they will like follow him, but they might still take him to where he wants to go. So I'm going to say unlikely that they are completely on his side, and then we'll re-roll to see if they'll still take him to where he wants to go. So 65 or less is a yes. 21. So yeah, because he is being so generous with them and kind and giving them the gold, they say, "Oh, okay, you're very. I don't know that you are very nice. We'll take you where you want to go. We take you safe passage. Nobody, you don't die. And so Quesh thinks, okay, thank you. Let us go. And so, are they going to take him? Are they actually going to take him a safe route? And do they encounter anything? I'm going to say it's likely that they take him on a safe route now. He's kind of won them over. 85 or less. That is a 10. So yes, extreme yes, they take him on the safest route. I'm going to roll a d6 just in case they encounter something that they didn't know about, but they avoid all the traps. They show them like, don't step here. And they show them like there's big swinging things, and they have this place trapped out. But they do encounter something. So what do they encounter? All right, so let's roll a d10 and see what they encounter. A 6, 1 CL4 creature. Ooh. All right, where's CL4? Here we go. Challenge level 4. Let's roll a d20 and find out what it is. I think the goblins are going to have to help him fight. 2 giant ants. Giant warrior ants. Okay. Okay. Let's go see giant warrior ants. It's going to be under ants. There we go. So there's only one of them. There's 3 hit dice. So I think the goblins, and there's 11 goblins and Quesh. I think are they surprised? Let's see if I'm going to say. Okay, so is Quesh surprised? I'm going to roll by himself, and then I'll roll the goblins. Quesh is surprised, probably because he thought he was going to be being safely taken. Are the goblins surprised? They are not. Is the ant surprised? The ant is surprised. Okay, so the goblins are not surprised. Quesh is surprised. The ant is surprised. The goblins, I think they open attack right away. So where their attacks. I'll write this down on a cue card. Okay, that's all I need. I'm not going to do a battle grid for this or anything. We're just going to go theater of the mind. So they come around this corner and the ant rears up. It's shocked. The goblins, maybe they heard it, or they're so used to these things they're able to suss it out, and they're not surprised by these things. So the goblins are each going to get their own attacks. So I'm going to attack 11 times with the goblins. They're not going to get any bonuses to their attack. It's 3 hit dice. So let's just say so that's 5, 6 hit points. That's not too bad actually. The goblins might kill it before Quesh ends up doing anything. So first goblin attack is a 15 that hits. 1d6. So the first goblin runs up as the ant rears up. The first goblin runs up, pushes its spear into its thorax, and this like weird poisonous blood comes out, and it's kind of like does this weird squeal. Like if you've ever seen the old movie Them, they go ah! And it collapses on the ground. Quesh is kind of shocked and I was not expecting that. And he goes and he thanks the goblin who killed him. Thank you very much. You are very brave. And the goblin says, yes, I know. I am very brave. And they continue on. Now, are they able to get out this time without anything happening? I think it's very likely that they're going to get out now. 90 or less, 31. Yeah, they get out. They come out on top, and Quesh can see the landscape opening up beyond for miles and miles and miles. You can even see the mountains on the other side of the plains that he has to cross. And he turns to the goblins and he says, "Thank you very much. I will not forget this. You have proven yourselves great warriors and very trustworthy." And the goblin chief says, "Thank you for shiny." Question says, "You're very welcome. I must be on my way. There is just but a little bit of daylight left, and I wish to make it to the bottom of this mountain and onto the plains before I have to camp." And the goblin says, "Goodbye, tall man." And they head back into the caves as Quesh journeys down the mountain. And we're going to move him here, and that is where he's going to end his day. That is going to be it for now. Let's roll, see if he has an encounter at the bottom. I don't think he will. Also, I'm going to drop the chaos factor because he was pretty in control of that whole situation. It went very well for him. 2, no encounters. Let's drop the chaos factor down to, when I find the paper, let's drop the chaos factor down to 6. I will do some upkeep on the calendar after. So, not too bad. He made it to across the mountains. He met some goblins who'd helped him out. So it just goes to show you don't always have to fight the goblins. Great. So Quesh is on the other side of the mountains now, which is important. He still has a large mountain range that he is going to have to go around. But there is a large city to the north of it. Maybe he can find some help there. Again, potentially he'll find a village or something that's not on the map, something that can help him out. And he has no coin on him, but he does still have the gems and jewelry that are worth 1,000 gold pieces, so he can always trade that in, get some coin that he needs to live, and give away the rest. That's it for me. Save a seat for me at your table.